Hello protagonists. Welcome to the Ploscar Red Carpet Pre-Show. The awards ceremony may not start just yet, but the celebration starts right now. Before the awards, before the winners, this is where we shine the spotlight on the nominees themselves, the films, the creativity, and the people who brought these stories to life in Plotagon. Tonight, you will hear directly from this year's nominated creators as they walk us through their journey to the Ploscars. So sit back, enjoy the pre-show, and let's celebrate an incredible year of animation. First up, we have the incredibly talented, four-time Ploscar Award winner, the BRYAN.
Hello Mac. Thanks for having me.
BRYAN, you have 16 nominations: action, fantasy, acting, editing, special effects, and established protagonist. How does that feel?
I'm truly honored to be nominated. Even though I know there are some categories I probably won't win, I'm still delighted just to be on the nomination list. 16 nominations is something I don't take lightly at all.
Let's start with Ken of Flash, the Buster Squad saga. What inspired you to finally give Ken his own standalone film?
I've always wanted to make an emotional superhero movie. Back in 2022, I created a speedster hero named Ken in the Buster Squad, and I felt like there was more story to tell. So I decided to develop a standalone movie for him, something deeper and more personal.
And it became a full 1-hour film.
Yes. That's a huge milestone for me. It's the first time one of my movies has reached a full 1-hour runtime. That alone makes it very special compared to my previous projects.
On the technical side, this film is nominated for Best Editing and Best Special Effects. What was the biggest challenge during production?
Production design, without a doubt. For both Ken of Flash and The Wonderful Wizard of Oz for 2, I relied heavily on green screens and custom backgrounds. Building cinematic worlds took tons of time and energy. That was definitely the most challenging part.
And with Oz, you took things even further.
I did. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz for 2 runs over 75 minutes, and it's the first time I used CGI in certain scenes to give them a more 3D look. I used Autodesk Maya for several major scenes, like when Elphaba flies over the Emerald City. I also used PowerPoint and Procreate for production design work. It was a big step forward creatively.
What sparked the idea to reimagine Oz in the first place?
In June 2025, I rewatched the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz on the big screen in 4D, and I was amazed all over again. I've also always imagined what it would be like if Wicked had a happy ending. That idea stayed with me, and eventually it became The Wonderful Wizard of Oz for 2.
As a big fan of Wicked, I can definitely say that I loved your reimagining of the story and how you incorporated that into your film. Anyways, how long did each project take from idea to final cut?
Ken of Flash took about 5 months. My time management wasn't great during that production, but I learned from that. For The Wonderful Wizard of Oz for 2, I finished everything in just 2 months.
That's growth. I also heard there are some hidden tributes in both films.
Yes. In Ken of Flash, the character's real name is Ken Lampert, a tribute to Harry Lampert, the creator of The Flash. And in Oz, Judy is named after Judy Garland, who played Dorothy in the 1939 film. Frank is a tribute to L. Frank Baum, the author of the original novel. I love honoring the history behind the stories that inspire me.
What do you hope audiences take away from these films?
For Ken of Flash, the message is, sometimes, you need to know when to stop. It's about learning to stop struggling with your past and choosing to embrace a brighter future. For The Wonderful Wizard of Oz for 2, I hope people understand the meaning behind There's No Place Like Home. When life becomes difficult, home is where healing begins.
That's beautiful. You're also nominated for Best Established Protagonist. That's a community recognition. What would winning tonight mean to you?
It would mean everything. Not just for the films, but as a creator. It would show that the work, the time, and the growth have been recognized.
Before we close, is there anyone you're rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for you, Max Animation. Your Who is amazing, and last year's Ploscar Red Carpet Pre-Show was incredible. I honestly think you're likely to sweep a lot of awards this year.
I appreciate that more than you know. So, thank you.
Of course.
Well, Bryan, I'm wishing you the best of luck tonight with your 16 nominations.
Thank you so much. It truly means a lot.
It was so much fun getting to chat with the Bryan. Now it looks like Gavin Makes Stuff has arrived. Gavin Makes Stuff, welcome to the Ploscar Red Carpet Pre-Show. You have 2 nominations this year, Best Comedic Film and Best Fanfiction Film. Gavin, how are you feeling?
I am excited, but honestly pretty surprised. I only posted 2 long-form videos this year, and both got nominated. I've had 3 other nominations in past years that led to 2 wins, but it's still amazing that people care enough about my silly little videos to nominate them.
Let's start with Pokemon, but in Plotagon. You've done Mario, Sonic, Minecraft. What made Pokemon the next target?
I have a series called Video Games, but in Plotagon where I parody different games, Pokemon just felt perfect. The concept itself is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. You're a 10-year-old kid sent out into the wild to throw balls at creatures that could easily defeat you in one move, and random people walk up and say, "Let's battle." It doesn't make much sense, but my videos aren't supposed to make sense, so it works perfectly.
Hahaha, I love that. Now, let's talk about ads for medications. Be like, where did that idea come from?
Every time I watch YouTube or a show and a commercial break comes on, I question the accuracy of those medication ads. They spend most of the time talking about how amazing the product is, and then the last 15 seconds list absurd side effects. I wanted to capture that absurdity, not just for medication commercials, but commercials in general. It was really fun coming up with the jokes.
And you said the hardest part was writing the side effects, right?
Yeah, I couldn't just go with cliché ones. I had to get creative and go deeper. That was the biggest challenge for that video.
And on the technical side, Pokemon had its own obstacles too, correct?
Definitely. I use CapCut to edit, and they locked a lot of features behind a paywall during a major update. So I had to get more creative with how I edited. The fact that you can barely tell the difference from my older videos makes me feel like I did a good job.
What's your creative process like? Are you a full script kind of person?
I don't write full scripts, but I keep a notebook where I jot down summaries and vague dialogue ideas. It helps me remember really good jokes or concepts while I'm building the video. I can always change things later, but I don't want to forget the strong ideas I had at the start.
So do you see yourself more as a writer or an editor or a director?
It really depends on the project. If it's story-driven, I enjoy the writing more. If it's cinematic or heavily comedic, I enjoy the editing because I get more freedom to play around.
You've been creating with Plotagon for over 5 years now. What advice would you give to other creators who want to get nominated?
Take your time, and make something you genuinely want to make. Most of us aren't going to make a living doing this. If you obsess over how a video performs or try to make something just for other people, it loses what makes it yours. When you're passionate about a film, it shows. Put your heart into it and enjoy the process. The recognition will follow.
I love that so much, and I totally agree. If you win tonight, what would that mean to you?
It would definitely motivate me. I'm on a bit of a long break right now, and I feel like winning a Ploscar could get me out of that funk and push me to start making films again.
I get that too. Every year after the Ploscars or the film festival, I am blown away by the talent and I am motivated to continue working on my projects. Before we wrap up, is there anyone you're rooting for tonight?
The Plota Guy 7. He puts so much work into his videos. His editing is top-notch.
Awesome. Well, Gavin, thank you for taking your time to be here. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Look who it is. It's the Cool Ninja Kid.
Hi, Mac.
The Cool Ninja Kid, welcome to the Ploscar Red Carpet Pre-Show. You're nominated this year for your annoying orange Plotagon remake. How does it feel to have your video recognized?
I felt very happy about it. It's a really rewarding experience to see my video get recognized like this.
You've been nominated before, but this is your first time up for this specific project. What inspired you to make more annoying orange remakes?
After my robot power video started getting a lot of traction from 2024 to 2025, I felt inspired to make more annoying orange remakes in Plotagon. I wanted to keep that energy going and bring that kind of content back in my own style.
And there's definitely a nostalgia factor to it.
That was the goal. I wanted to give people late 2000s to early 2010s YouTube nostalgia, especially fans of channels like Annoying Orange. That era had such a specific kind of humor, and I wanted to capture that.
Was there a moment in the film that you're especially proud of?
Yes, when Orange yells, "'Cause you're stupid!" after the other Orange keeps annoying him. That part was wild. I'm very fond of how that turned out.
If you had to describe the film in just 3 words, what would they be?
Funny, nostalgic, and contradicting.
Nice. If you could improve one thing about it, what would you change?
I'd animate the rest of the oranges at the end and have them actually mouth the lines like, "Hey, it's another orange!" and all of that. I think I would have made it even better.
If your name gets called tonight, what would that mean to you?
That would be such an epic moment for me. Winning a Ploscar would be such a huge milestone.
You've also got some big projects coming up.
Yes, I am working on my upcoming movie Avatar Ninja, which is coming out this summer. And after that, I'll be working on the long-awaited sequel to Harry and Helena. I even talked to collaborating with BRYAN on that one.
Before we wrap up, what's your go-to snack while editing?
Popcorn, the classic movie viewing snack. Can't go wrong with that.
Love it. Well, TheCoolNinjaKid, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Of course, thanks for having me.
I'm here with Jackster Animation, who has 4 nominations tonight. The Urinal is up for Best Editing, Best Special Effects, and Best Voice Acting, and Jackster's Big Movie is nominated for Best Throwback Film. That's a strong mix of old and new.
Thanks.
First off, when you saw the nominations come in, what was your reaction?
Well, for the Urinal, while I was grateful for the nominations I received, I was most happy that my collaborators are receiving equal credit, which is the least they deserve. With Jackster's Big Movie, on the other hand, I was honestly surprised. I didn't really think it would get a mention, because my opinion of the film nowadays is... well, let's say I've improved a lot since then. You live and you learn as you move forward.
Let's talk about the Urinal. Where did that idea even begin?
So, a long-time friend of mine named Aaron created the main character, Sean Wheatfield, a couple years back, and for a while we'd been imagining comedic skits with him. One day Aaron said he wanted to animate one, and I was immediately on board. From there it became a collaborative effort between Aaron, Sammy, and myself.
So it really was built from the ground up as a team project.
Absolutely. We planned and acted it out in a group chat, and then once the lines were finalized, Aaron and Sammy recorded their dialogue, and then I animated everything to match their performances.
And those performances definitely stand out, especially in a category like Best Voice Acting.
Yeah, Aaron really brought Sean to life, full of character and expression. The plot wouldn't have been possible without him.
Technically though, this film feels like a leap. The camera work, the environments, and additional animation looked incredible.
It was a big challenge. A lot of ambitious animation shots for Plotagon standards, and I am known to be a bit of a perfectionist. Anyway, I modelled a custom public bathroom scene and an outside scene myself. I made over a dozen 3D assets for the project. I used Autodesk Maya for modelling, Adobe Substance Painter for texturing, and then I imported everything into Unreal Engine for camera work. Post-production involved Premiere Pro, Photoshop, and even PowerPoint for certain effects.
And this project took like 4.5 months?
Nearly 4.5, yes. Writing, voice acting, animation, post-production, the whole thing.
You clearly put in a lot of work for this film. Now jumping back to Jackster's Big Movie, that one goes all the way back to 2017.
So right after my first feature, the Lizzie movie, found success on the original Plotagon app, I wanted to make another feature starring myself and give 12 other users the chance to co-star. It was a lot of fun and introduced me to creators that I'm still in contact with today.
But that production wasn't exactly smooth, was it?
No. Near completion, my laptop got a virus and died. I lost all my characters and existing plots. I had to delay the film for months while I remade every character and restored assets.
That's painful. I don't think people realize how devastating that can be mid-project.
Yeah, it was frustrating, but hey, you move forward.
You've been creating with Plotagon since December of 2015, over 10 years. When you look at your evolution, do you see yourself more as a writer, director, or editor?
Well, for years, I've leaned more towards the visual and editorial side. But lately, I've been pushing myself into writing and directing more, both inside and outside Plotagon. I'd say the Urinal was a good start in that regard.
That growth mindset really shows, and you've won twice before, so you know what that moment feels like. So how would winning this year feel?
Even just a nomination is a great honor. But winning gives you that great feeling knowing people enjoyed your work. To still have support over a decade now is something I once thought was unthinkable.
Before we look ahead, I have to ask, what do you hope audiences take away from the urinal?
Just one thing, really. Don't poop in the urinals.
Yeah, that's good advice. Ha 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 ha. You mentioned you're starting work on a new feature film called Zoe. That sounds very different from your usual comedy.
Oh, yes. It's a coming-of-age family drama set mainly in the 1980s. It follows a young girl, Zoe Sinclair, who writes about her life in a diary, but after years of family turmoil and neglect, she runs away. A bumbling but well-meaning man takes her into foster care with his family and helps her navigate life while tensions rise between the two families. It's about identity, belonging, and growing up during difficult times. Nostalgic but grounded.
That sounds like a great film. Before we let you go, here's some quick questions. What's your favorite new category this year?
I gotta go with Best Throwback Film. It gives older videos a chance to shine alongside newer creations in the community.
Tell us about your outfit tonight.
I got me a simple blue tuxedo. If you've known me long enough, you'll know I pretty much always wear blue.
Awesome. Jackster Animation, congratulations on your 4 nominations and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
And now it looks like our next protagonist has arrived. Zach, you've got 5 nominations tonight with a wide range of genres. When you found out about the nominations, what went through your mind?
I was kinda surprised, but not too much.
Cool. Let's talk about the variety in your projects. Each one has a very different concept. Where do your ideas usually come from?
For Strange Password, I was inspired by people not getting passwords right and getting confused trying to enter them. For the Burger King vs. Ronald McDonald, I had this idea in my head of food mascots fighting each other. For Highway Harold, I was in a Goodwill store one day and saw a DVD cover with a rod on it. I visualized it in my head, and that's when I got the idea to create the road movie. And for Snowstorm and Koliaks, I was inspired by winter weather forecasts I watched before. I usually just visualize the story and characters in my head first.
Out of all of them, Highway Herald, Sneak Peek stands out because of the technical side. It's nominated for audio effects too.
Yeah, I was especially proud that I made the audio effects sound good and accurate. I mostly never did something like that before.
Was there any project that gave you trouble during production?
Yes, Highway Harold. I had writer's block during the rest of the film's production. Then my computer had a fatal error and minutes of the film were lost. Only 4 minutes were saved. The rest is basically lost media now.
That's rough. Losing that much work would frustrate anyone. Looking back at your nominated projects, is there anything you would change?
For the Burger King vs. Ronald McDonald, I would get rid of the ending and make it longer. And for Highway Harold, I would remove the repetitive dialogue.
It sounds like you're always thinking about how to improve, which is important.
Yeah.
You also have new projects coming up. Tell us about one of them.
I have one in development called The One in the High Palace. It's about a person named Lincoln who escapes and goes on a special journey with a gang to stop Mrs. Banks and save the town from tyranny. I have many more projects coming once I finish that movie.
If you win a Ploscar tonight, what would that mean to you?
It will make me feel appreciative of my projects, and I would work hard on them starting from that.
Well, congrats on your nominations across comedy, fan fiction, multimedia, and news. That's an impressive range. Good luck tonight.
Thanks! You too.
Now, I'm here with lots of fun on the Ploscar red carpet. Tonight, we're celebrating The Lost Letter. First of all, congratulations on the nomination.
Thank you so much. It truly means a lot.
Let's talk about the film. The Lost Letter is such an emotional story. What inspired you to create it?
The idea started with something simple, that small things can carry deep emotions. A letter represents words we're sometimes too afraid to say out loud. I wanted to tell a story about connection, regret, and unspoken feelings. It felt like a powerful foundation for something meaningful.
And this is your first time being nominated?
Yes, it is.
What was your reaction when you found out?
I was surprised and very grateful. As a creator, you always hope your story connects with people, but seeing it recognized like this made all the work feel worth it.
What was the biggest challenge while making the film?
Making sure the emotions felt natural and not forced. Because the story depends so much on feeling, I had to be careful with pacing, dialogue, and expressions. Even small details made a big difference in whether a moment felt real.
Is there a scene you're especially proud of?
The moment when the letter is finally discovered. I slowed down the pacing and let the scene breathe. When I finished editing that part, I felt like the story was complete.
You've been creating with Plotagon for about 4 years now. How has your process evolved?
In the beginning, I focused more on learning the technical side. Over time, I shifted toward emotional depth and storytelling.
Did you use anything outside of Plotagon to enhance the film?
Yes. I adjusted camera angles and expressions in-app, then refined the final version with external editing to improve pacing and flow. Every choice was made to strengthen the emotional tone.
What advice would you give to other Plotagonists who want to create impactful films?
Focus on storytelling first. Technical skills matter, but a strong emotional core is what connects with people. Take your time, refine your work, and create from the heart.
What do you hope viewers take away from The Lost Letter?
I hope they're reminded to express their feelings before it's too late. Communication, forgiveness, love, those things matter. If someone feels inspired to say something they've been holding in, then the film did its job.
What's next for you?
I'm continuing my series Joseph the Dreamer, which allows for deeper storytelling over time. I'm also exploring new ideas that challenge me creatively. I want to keep growing.
Before I let you go, who's one Plotagonist that you would love to collaborate with one day?
You, Max Animation. I really respect the creativity and leadership you bring to the community. A collaboration would be an honor.
That would be awesome. Last quick one, tell us about the look tonight.
I went with something sleek and dark-toned. Simple, clean, and intentional. I wanted it to reflect confidence and growth, understated, but meaningful.
Lots of fun. Congratulations again on The Lost Letter. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
I'm excited to announce that next up, we have the Plotagon 7 with 6 nominations tonight, from 10 types of Plotagon users to the cancelled Jester's new job, Part 2, to 10 types of roommates, and even recognition for Jester in multiple categories. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's start with 10 types of Plotagon users. What inspired it?
10 types of Plotagon users is something that's been on my radar for a long time. Plotagon was made to bring a wide range of storytellers' ideas to life. From comedians to serious filmmakers to, grounded users. But I wanted to recognize them all. The good, the bad, and the ugly. They're all part of the diverse Plotagon community we help build to this day. So you can say that I was inspired by, well, everyone.
And Jester's new job, Part 2. What was the vision there?
I wanted to continue where my previous video, Jester's Night Shift, left off. Part 1 was your fairly average Jester video with the comedy bits. But I planned Part 2 to have a more serious tone in comparison. That was, before I cancelled it.
Why did you cancel Jester's new job?
It wasn't worth it. It was in a rough spot with Secret Superhero, another two-parter of mine. Between the two videos, I prioritized Secret Superhero, which led to Jester's cancellation. I'm working on a new Jester skit in its place that'll continue where Part 1 left off.
You've won a Ploscar before, so how does it feel being nominated again, especially with Jester landing dual nominations for Best Actor and Best Protagonist?
Finding out which categories I was nominated in was exciting. Jester getting those 2 nominations was easily the biggest surprise to me.
What was the biggest challenge during production?
Aside from procrastination, definitely writer's block. You know how you want a scene to progress, but can't quite put it into words? That's me. I'd sit for hours revising very minor things like wording or timing something. Sometimes I'd watch other people's Plotagon videos and think, this has better writing than anything I've ever made. I'm highly self-conscious about it.
I've been there. Anyways, describe your films in 3 words.
For 10 types of Plotagon users, I'd say, best collaboration ever. And for Jester's new job, pain in butt.
How long did they take to make?
Part 2 of Jester's new job took 4 years. 10 types of Plotagon users took about 3 months. I started around March and finished it in June.
Do you see yourself more as a writer, director, or editor?
A writer. Yeah, I know what I said, but I still enjoy the process. I'm actually taking an online screenwriting course to improve and learn how to make a proper script.
Did you use any custom assets or outside tools?
Yes, I used KindMaster for post-production and programs like FlippRClip. and Block's World for custom assets, and I collaborated with fellow nominees Jackster Animation and THEDocMonster for voice cameos and 10 types of Plotagon users. It was my favorite part of production, and I'll definitely look into bringing more voices in the future.
What advice would you give to other protagonists who want to create award-worthy films?
Be authentic, especially now with generative AI being used in so many films. Dependence on AI kills creativity. If you use AI, use it wisely. Never let it replace the human touch.
If you could cast a famous actor to voice a character, who would it be?
Most people would pick famous celebrities, but they're not my thing. I'd go with Frank Welker. Look him up.
Of the new Ploscar categories, which one stands out to you?
Best voice acting. It's a unique skill and I'd love to see it used more often.
And finally, what's next for you in the world of Plotagon filmmaking?
After I finish the new Jester's kit, I want to finish Secret Superhero and premiere it as one big movie event. I also want to tackle some long-saved ideas, including the highly requested Random Commercials 5, and I have plans for non-Plotagon animations, but I'll leave it there.
The Plota Guy 7, thanks for joining on the carpet and good luck tonight at the Ploscars.
Thanks, you too.
Well, we've had an incredible lineup so far. It's been so interesting to see how all of these protagonists created their films and just how much they mean to them. Before we head on over to our next interview, we have some excited polls to share with you. First up, we asked what your favorite Plotagon character was, and of the ones to choose from, Lizzie took the #1 spot with 33% of votes. We also asked what Plotagon app you use the most, and Plotagon Story had the most votes. Lastly, because we're here at one of the biggest Plotagon events, we had to ask which one was your favorite, so here's the results, and it looks like 61% of you love the Ploscar Awards just as much as I do. It's always so fun to see what the community thinks. But now, we've still got plenty of protagonists coming up, so let's go to our next interview. Alright, this is a big one. I'm here with Helena, the community manager at Plotagon. Helena, welcome to the Ploscar pre-show.
Hi Mac, thanks for having me.
Of course. Helena, first of all, how long have you been with Plotagon?
It's been 4 years now.
That's amazing. What originally made you want to work for Plotagon?
I have worked in content creation, user engagement, and community management for games and apps for about 9 years now. When I was looking for my next professional adventure, I reached out to an old colleague of mine to ensure he could be a reference, and he mentioned they were looking for someone exactly like me with my skill set where he was at Plotagon. Once I met with the team and saw the product, I was ready to go with lots of ideas.
That's so cool. Now, we're here at the Ploscars, so what does a typical day look like when you're organizing something like this?
They all look a bit different, honestly. Usually they involve reviewing and updating lots of spreadsheets to keep everything organized. With so many moving pieces, it is important to keep track so nothing falls through the cracks. As we get closer, and for this one especially, I'm building out the program and inserting everyone's contributions, so I am in editor mode. Finally, as it comes closer, I am in my emails following up with anyone I can to get those last bits needed. It's a ton of work to produce, and it's an absolute labor of love to be able to showcase and honor such creativity within our community.
That's a lot more than people probably imagine, and you're also reviewing hundreds of films. How do you even manage that?
That's a great question. First, I go through the submissions and clear out the duplicates. You can immediately see the ones that have impacted the community because they're the plots that are submitted several times by different community members. Then I review what's been submitted and compare it to the award it was suggested for to ensure it meets the criteria. Occasionally, we get people who will submit one plot across all the awards, or they submit one from a couple years back. So I check on all that to ensure it meets the criteria necessary to be a nominee. Then I ask some of our movie enthusiasts to pick out favorites for a few different categories, and from that feedback we select the official nominees. The good thing is that you can usually tell quickly if something will or will not meet the criteria, and once it doesn't, you can move on to the next one. It still takes a lot of time, but it's great because it's how I get to discover a lot of new to me talent we have in the community.
That's really cool. And, when you asked the community for new award category ideas this year, you ended up adding 17 more. What was that like?
When we asked for ideas for additional categories, I didn't expect to see so many awesome ones. So instead of selecting 3 or 4 new ones, we selected all the ones we liked. It was interesting to see what categories got a lot of suggestions and which ones did not. Next year we may pare down a few that didn't resonate with the community.
I totally get that. And how long does it usually take to organize something on this scale?
Oh goodness. I would say the beginning where we're collecting info takes a couple days. Then going through everything submitted takes the entire amount of time we schedule out. And then putting it all together also takes the majority of my work time for that block of days until the event itself. I definitely take a nap once the Ploscars conclude.
A well-earned nap, I'm sure. What's something about organizing the Ploscars that most people don't realize?
Collecting the clips is a lot of work. It helps me immensely when the creators send them to me, as then I know that what they send is something they're extra proud of, and I don't have to go through their entire plots to find 5 seconds I think best represent that nominee.
That's a good reminder for everyone watching. Hahaha. What's the most challenging part of running community events?
I would love to feature more community members, but realistically I need to run something that I can manage.
That's fair. There's always more talent than time. If you were to make your own Plotagon movie, what would it be about?
I especially enjoy watching plots that are scenes you are very familiar with. The ones that are like, title of famous show, but in Plotagon. If I were to make a full-on Plotagon movie, it would likely be something like that.
Sort of like my Wicked trailers. Hahaha. Where do you get inspiration for the monthly challenges?
Some are based on whatever's going on that month. For example, October is usually something involving Halloween. Other ones might be related to something going on globally or within our Plotagon community.
Before we wrap up, do you have any advice for Plotagonists who want to be more involved?
I think the best way to get more involved is to check out other Plotagonists' plots and comment on them. I see so much love and kindness in the comment sections. I think doing that really helps us all build up each other.
And would you say that's your favorite part about working with the Plotagon community?
Yes, the members of this community are so creative and supportive of each other. It's great to see that camaraderie.
I've seen it too, and I love it, seeing the community come together. Now I have one simple but very important question. What's your go-to snack while reviewing plots?
Chocolate, definitely.
Perfect answer. And tell us about your outfit tonight.
Every year I pick a different outfit for the Ploscars. So this one is what I chose. I usually go for something dressy and festive.
And if you had to describe this year's nominated plots in one word, what would it be?
Clever.
Oh, I love that. Well, Helena, thank you for everything you do behind the scenes to make this possible. We genuinely wouldn't be here without you.
Thank you.
It was absolutely amazing getting to interview Helena. Now, everyone, please welcome the ThePlotaCreatives.
Hello! Hello!
Seven nominations this year. That's a massive night for you. How does it feel walking into the Ploscars with that kind of recognition?
It feels really good. When I found out, I was honestly very happy and surprised at the same time. I smiled and told my friends right away. It was a proud moment, but mostly I just felt grateful.
That's just wonderful. I'm so happy for you.
Thanks!
Let's talk about A Different Virus. It's nominated in multiple categories, including Best Sci-Fi Movie and Best Plotagon Film. What inspired that story?
I was inspired by a series called The Boys, with superheroes and supervillains. I loved the sci-fi concept and wanted to try something like that in my own way. It was my first time doing a full sci-fi movie, and also my first time making something over 40 minutes long. I spent more time on it than anything I had done before, and I was really happy with how the story played out.
It clearly paid off. What was the biggest challenge while making it?
Plotagon limitations definitely forced me to change some scenes from how I originally imagined them. Some scenes were really tiring and difficult to create. I also lost my laptop during production, so I had to rely on my Android phone, which made everything slower. I used Pixverse AI for some special effects, and I had issues with the KineMaster watermark too. It wasn't easy, but I kept pushing through.
That's dedication, and Youthful Desires is completely different in tone, much more grounded and emotional.
Yes. Youthful Desires was inspired by the real-life story of a friend of mine who just wanted a happy life. He went through so much,
including losing his dad and close friends. That story really moved me, and I wanted to reflect that emotion. The challenge there was consistency. Because of Plotagon's limits, I had to adjust some scenes from how I originally wrote them. I was also rushing myself to release episodes weekly, and everything started to feel rushed.
When you're creating, what does your process look like?
I'm more of a writer than anything else. I love writing novels with intriguing plot twists. Maybe it's just my thing. I don't fully script everything, though. I usually plot the scenes on paper and outline the dialogue as the story progresses. It might not be the most professional method, but it works for me.
Awesome. And production-wise, how long did a different virus take from start to finish?
Since I already had the story ideas written about a year before, production took around 3 to 5 weeks. I didn't track the exact timeline, but it definitely didn't go past 5 weeks.
If you could go back and improve one thing about your films, what would it be?
The editing. Some viewers have pointed it out, and I agree there's room to grow there. That's something I am working on improving.
If you win a Ploscar tonight, what would that mean to you?
It would mean I'm on the right path. It would remind me that my work connects with people. I've met so many kind and supportive people through this journey, and that honestly matters the most.
I'm so glad. So, what's next for you?
A Different Virus is getting a sequel. And I already have a new series called The Law of Inheritance on air. I'm also planning on participating in the Countdown to 2027 and the Plotagon Film Festival. If there's any other event, I'm ready.
Love to hear it. Before we wrap up, we have to talk about your outfit.
Of course. The Ploscars are literally the Oscars for Plotagon, so I had to look like $1,000,000.
I respect it. And one last question, if you could collaborate with anyone in the community, who would it be?
Jackster Animation. That would be a great collaboration.
I'll keep that in mind. Well, TheCoolNinjaKid, 7 nominations, huge ambition, and a sequel already on the way. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thanks. You too. Up next, we have the one, the only, THEDocMonster.
Hello, Mac.
Hello, it's good to see you here. So, Rob, also known as THEDocMonster, welcome back to the Ploscar Red Carpet. You have 4 nominations tonight for the Dark Athenaeum, Someday Driver, Best Sci-Fi Film, Best Original Character, Best Voice Acting, and Best Established Protagonist. That's a strong showing.
It's truly an honor.
Let's start at the beginning. Someday Driver has such a unique concept. Where did it come from?
Sometimes I like to gamify my writing. I'll draw random cards or roll dice just to see what story falls out. For this one, I pulled 3 prompts from the card game Grave Robbers from Outer Space. A visitor from the future, teenage vampire hoods, and the backseat of a car. That bizarre combination became the foundation. The character stuck around, but the setting evolved, until even the car had a voice.
That's incredible. When you found out Someday Driver was nominated this year, what was your reaction?
Surprised, in the best way. Every year, this community levels up. The veterans keep raising the bar, and the newcomers show up fearless. To be nominated among them means a lot.
This film feels especially ambitious. What was the biggest challenge?
Rotoscoping. I had to cut characters out of one car scene and place them into another, frame by frame, for hundreds of frames. And instead of nice simple hair, I chose the wig that looks like it survived a lightning strike. But I regret nothing, except maybe the hair.
That dedication shows, and the entire film takes place in essentially one police car setup, right?
Yes, one primary scene, one fixed camera angle, which is fine, just not for 10.5 minutes. So I pushed it. I built new angles, matched the lighting, and stitched everything together until it felt cinematic. It became a creative challenge that I refused to give up on.
I was absolutely blown away by how you did that, and you wouldn't have been able to know that those camera angles weren't originally in Plotagon. Now, you've been creating with Plotagon for over 10 years now. Has your process changed?
The core hasn't. It always starts with story. For this one, after the initial prompts, I actually developed 3 completely different versions before realizing the best one was hiding somewhere in the middle. Once the script clicked, I built a rough previs in Plotagon to test it. When I saw the bones were strong, it was all execution from there.
And execution included some heavy post-production work, I can imagine.
Oh yes. Rotobrush and After Effects looked magical in the demos. In reality, with jerky animation and chaotic hair, it was like building a house during an earthquake. I eventually switched to Mocha AE, which at least let me make progress instead of constant repairs. It still took patience, but it was worth it.
You also always bring strong voice work to your films.
Thank you. And this time my wife joined me. She guest starred as the vampire. The funny part is we recorded that dialogue 4 years ago in our old house. So technically those performances traveled through space and time to appear in a film about time travel. I love that.
Speaking of your wife, is there anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
Forever and always, her. She's my first audience and my toughest critic. She doesn't just support the work, she makes it better. These nominations are just as much hers as they are mine.
I love that. What do you hope audiences take away from Someday Driver?
Entertainment. Life's heavy enough. If I can give someone 10 minutes to escape, laugh, and forget everything else for a little while, that's success. If they walk away smiling, I've done my job.
Now creatively, where do you feel most at home as a writer, director, or editor?
They're all part of the same machine, but I'm probably a writer first. I love starting with nothing and building something new. Editing is the fun part though. That's where timing and music come together and suddenly the story has a pulse. Writing builds the bones, editing gives it a heartbeat.
There's even a new best editing category this year.
Yes, and that's my favorite. I remember the BRYAN and I suggesting it on this carpet last year. Editing is where everything clicks. Pacing, rhythm, performance. I'm glad it's finally being spotlighted.
If you could go back and change one thing in the film, what would it be?
I'd add Edward Creep as a bobblehead on the dashboard. Given that it's about time travel, it feels appropriate. Missed opportunity. For now.
So what's next for you?
Entering the next Dark Athenaeum episode for consideration for the Plotagon Film Festival is my priority. I would hate to miss that. Beyond that, I want to participate in more monthly competitions. Tight deadlines are challenging, but they make you better. And I'd really like to be part of Countdown to 2027. Missing last year just makes me more motivated.
Before I let you go, if you win tonight, what will that mean to you?
It would be an honor. Absolutely. But honestly, being nominated alongside creators I admire is already the reward. This community is special.
Rob, 4 nominations for Someday Driver, sci-fi, character work, voice acting, and a whole lot of frame-by-frame determination behind it. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, Mac.
Up next we have Hey Inmate with 2 nominations tonight. Hey Inmate Season 6 and the episode No Call No Show. First off, congratulations.
Thank you. It feels great to be nominated.
This is your first Ploscar nomination, right?
Yes, it is. When I found out, I was honestly just so excited. It means a lot to me.
Let's talk about the series. What inspired Hey Inmate?
I've been a correctional officer for over 17 years. People always ask me to tell them stories about situations I've experienced on the job. Seeing their reactions inspired me to bring those stories to life using Plotagon.
So a lot of it comes from real experience?
Yes. Surprisingly, all my content comes from my everyday experiences. That makes the writing process feel natural.
That's amazing. How long did Season 6 take you to put together?
This particular project took about 4 hours in total to complete.
That's impressive. You also do your own voices, correct?
Yes, I do all the character voices myself. I also use external editing to insert certain sounds to enhance the scenes.
You've been creating with Plotagon for 4 years now. What advice would you give to other creators?
Continue to invest in yourself while doing what you love. And when things get hard, remember that it's part of the process. Don't quit.
I love that. Never give up. Is there anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank all my fans for supporting and liking the videos I've created. Their support keeps me going.
What's next for you?
I'm continuing the Hey Inmate series. There's lots more to come.
Let's have some quick fun questions before you go. Who's your favorite Plotagon character?
Tobias from my Hey Inmate series.
What's your go-to snack while editing?
Cereal. Surprisingly enough.
If you could add a new scene to Plotagon, what would it be?
A daytime police car scene.
Ooh, yeah, me too. And out of the new Ploscar categories, which one stands out to you?
Best Plotagon series.
Awesome. Well, Hey Inmate, congratulations again on Season 6 and your nominations.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Now I'm here with They Will Be Filled on the Ploscar red carpet. 2 nominations tonight, one for The Love Enemies movie trailer and one for your channel as an up-and-coming protagonist. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was honestly surprised to see the nomination. How?
This is your first time being nominated, right?
Yes, it is.
Let's talk about what inspired your storytelling journey in the first place.
I went through a really tough time emotionally and carried a lot of bitterness for years. One night, I prayed from the bottom of my heart for help, and not long after, something changed in me. The hate and bitterness I was used to just wasn't there anymore. It felt like a gift. As I started studying the Bible and growing personally, I felt like I finally had a voice. I'd lived pretty isolated because of social anxiety, so I didn't really have people to share that transformation with. I felt this urge to tell somebody, to help somebody, so I started a blog, then a YouTube channel. I had stories to tell.
That's really beautiful and powerful. And The Love Enemies trailer came out of that process?
Yes, I struggled with that first movie idea and actually paused it. I made a completely different film within a month and released it in parts. When I posted the full movie on New Year's Day, people started watching and interacting right away. Reading the comments and seeing how it impacted people, that's when I knew why I do this. Now I'm almost ready to release the full movie from that nominated trailer.
You've been creating with Plotagon for less than a year, which makes this even more impressive. What was your creative process like starting out?
At first, I wrote everything on the fly. I'd think of a scene and just create it. Now I'm learning to be more structured, working with story beats and planning things out better.
What do you hope audiences take away from your stories?
I hope they think deeper about life and find hope.
I love that so much. And if you win tonight, what would that mean to you?
That I just need to keep going and make more movies.
What's next for you?
The full movie from the nominated trailer should be ready around March 2026. I'm also thinking about using AI more to enhance scenes. And outside of Plotagon, I've been learning 3D modeling and animation.
Cool. If you could collaborate with another creator, who would it be?
Torriva Stories. I really like their work.
They Will Be Filled. Congratulations again on the nominations. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Now we're here backstage and we're ready for our next interview. Let's see who it is. Dale, welcome back to the Ploscar Red Carpet Pre-Show. 6 nominations this year, that's huge. How are you feeling coming into tonight?
Like last year, I'm excited about it. But considering the awesome competition I have, I'll honestly be surprised if I win anything. I was stunned by some of the nominations. The prehistoric toy rocket was just for fun, not meant to teach history. And I don't normally do music videos, so the one I did for Linkin Park was an amazement to me.
Let's start there. Your music video for Numb, what inspired you to take that on?
I wanted to pay personal tribute to one of the greatest rock bands in history and show the actual meaning of the song. The biggest challenge was fitting the scenes in text plates, so they lined up precisely with the music.
That attention to detail definitely shows. Now on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, Sabri Civil War, sci-fi, revolution, space battles. Where did that idea come from?
I was inspired by how easy it is for a revolution to break out, only for it to be hijacked by opportunists who betray the very principles they claimed to support. The hardest part was showing a battle in space without actual spaceship models. I used still pictures of space battles with exciting music and dialogue to make it work.
There's also a strong moral core in that story. Was there a moment you're especially proud of?
There are a couple of scenes where an alien chooses to save human lives simply because it's the right thing to do, even if that means opposing their own superiors. That idea of unity and tolerance really matters to me.
That theme of moral choice also shows up in the corruption and redemption of George Anderson. What makes that project stand out to you?
I was trying to explain what it truly means to redeem yourself. It means actually changing so you don't repeat who you were in the past. People can change, but they still need to be held accountable so they never make the same mistakes again.
And what's next for you?
Eventually, I'll make a 7th season of Debbie and Carrie, The Next Generation. Every time I think I'm finished with that saga, something stirs within me and pushes me to create more stories.
Dale, 6 nominations, bold ideas, and stories that really challenge audiences. Congratulations on all your work this year. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you, Mac. I appreciate it.
Now it looks like Phoenix Studios has arrived. Phoenix Studios, you have 5 nominations this year. Best Newscast, Best Throwback Film, Best Actress, Best Protagonist, and Best Established Plotagonist. That's a huge night already. How are you feeling walking in?
Honestly, I feel really blessed, especially being nominated for Best Actress and Best Protagonist. It makes me feel heard, like my work is actually reaching people and inspiring other protagonists. I'm extremely grateful for that.
One of your nominations, the Plotagon crossover movie Act 2, is up for Best Throwback Film. That project has a lot of history behind it.
It does. Act 2 is basically the continuation of my very first Plotagon film I ever did on YouTube. I split it into 2 parts because I was busy around New Year's week in 2024 and needed more time to finish it. Looking back, the editing wasn't perfect, but it represents the beginning of my cinematic journey. That's what makes it special to me.
And your film also has a strong nostalgia vibe to it. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I pulled from a lot of memories. Pop culture, WWE storylines from 2024, and even moments from my own life. It's kind of this big crossover extravaganza that builds to a chaotic grand finale concert. It's adventurous, a little messy, but it's fun.
Then there's the Phoenix Studios movie, which feels very personal.
It is. I made it in August for the Plotagon Film Festival, and it ended up being the last Plotagon movie I made before AI-generated videos really started taking over online. I put a lot of time into the script and editing. It's also the final Plotagon film to feature Kieran Feming before he retired. So that means a lot to me. To me, that film is proof that human creativity still matters. If you're willing to write a story yourself and really use your imagination, it shows.
And like you mentioned, you featured a lot of creators in your films too. That's awesome.
Yes, and I am proud of that. I include veterans and even channels that have retired or disappeared. People like Plotaboy, Can Shrimp 2041, and Kieran Feming. They're part of this community's history, and I wanted to honor that.
If audiences take away one thing from your films, what would you want it to be?
From the Phoenix Studios movie, I'd say teamwork and true friendship conquers all. And from the crossover film, stay adventurous, but also respect boundaries. Not everything needs loud fanfare.
Well, Phoenix Studios, congratulations on your 5 nominations this year.
Thank you so much, Mac.
It was great talking to Phoenix Studios. Up next, we have ShakenOrc.
Hi, Mac.
ShakenOrc, congratulations on your nominations. It must feel great to be nominated this year.
Yeah! It feels really amazing to be nominated. I was honestly very shocked. I didn't think I was going to be nominated at all.
That's the best kind of surprise though, especially since this is your first time being nominated, right?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. And Sky and the Mystery Killer is actually your longest video so far?
Yeah, it's 7 minutes. That's longer than all my other videos, so it feels special because of that.
7 minutes is no joke when you're editing everything yourself. My series, FBI, Plotagon City only has episodes that are 5 minutes long, ha 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 ha. So, what was the hardest part of putting it together?
Definitely the editing. I used to use Flixer, but it wouldn't let me download the video for some reason. So I had to switch to online video editor to finish it.
Oh wow, that's frustrating. I've been there when the editor just decides not to cooperate. I'm glad you found a workaround though.
Yeah, me too.
Was there a scene that really stood out to you while making it?
The scene where me and Sky find out Marco was the true killer. That took a lot of typing, but it was worth it in the end.
Those big reveal scenes always feel good when they finally come together.
Yeah!
And it only took you 3 days to finish the whole project too?
Yeah, about 3 days.
That's impressive. And you've only been creating with Plotagon for how long?
Since autumn of 2025.
That makes the nominations even cooler. Do you have any advice for other newer creators watching tonight?
Don't give up on your future projects, and try to finish them.
Simple, but honestly really important advice. Before we wrap up, is there anyone you want to thank?
My dad, for helping me with the editing process.
If you win an award tonight, what would that mean to you?
It would mean my work has finally paid off, and I'd be recognized by other big protagonists.
That would definitely be a huge moment. Are there any protagonists that you're rooting for tonight?
Yeah, THEDocMonster, ThePlotaCreatives, TV. And you, Mac.
I really appreciate that. Last quick one, if Plotagon added a brand new scene tomorrow, what would you want?
Area 51.
Wow. That would be so cool. ShakenOrc, congratulations on your first nominations, and good luck tonight, and thanks for joining me for the pre-show.
Thank you, Mac.
Now, everyone, please welcome JDL. First off, congratulations on your nominated films tonight.
Thank you, Mac.
This isn't your first time being nominated either, and you've actually won before.
Yes, I have.
Awesome. Let's talk about your inspiration. What sparked the idea behind this project?
I watched a lot of direct-to-DVD sequels growing up. I was especially inspired by the anthology-style ones like Tarzan and Jane, Atlantis, Milo's Return, and Cinderella 2, Dreams Come True. I liked how they combined separate stories into one movie.
That's wonderful. And your film follows that anthology format too?
Yeah, it's basically 4 reused episodes of the Jackster show joined together into one anthology movie.
Cool. How long did that take you to put together?
Not long. It only took about 2 days.
What was the biggest challenge during production?
Spending a lot of time editing and struggling with subscriptions I used to help make the movie.
Are there any hidden details or Easter eggs viewers should look for?
Yes, there are a bunch of Easter eggs, especially anything Plotagon related and cameos from other protagonists.
When it comes to filmmaking, do you see yourself more as a writer, director, or editor?
I'd say director and a producer.
Well, JDL, congratulations again on your nominated films tonight. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you!
Well, that brings us to the end of this year's Ploscar Red Carpet pre-show. Tonight, we had the chance to talk with 15 incredible nominees, hear their stories, learn about their creative processes, and get a glimpse into the journeys behind their films and series. We also got to hear from the Plotagon community manager and the host of the Ploscar Awards, Helena, who helps organize the events that bring this entire community together. It's been really fun getting to know these protagonists a little better and hearing what inspires them to create. And honestly, that's what makes the Plotagon community so special. Everyone here has their own ideas, their own style, and their own story to tell. Of course, tonight is all about celebrating those creators and their work. In just a little while, we'll find out who will be taking home the Ploscar Award this year, and with so many talented nominees, it's truly anyone's game. So get comfortable, grab a snack, and get ready. The Ploscar Awards are about to begin. Thank you for watching the Ploscar Red Carpet pre-show, and we'll see you at the awards.